Prime Minister Rama publicly invited opposition leader Lulzim Basha to sit in talks to resolve the political crisis during his speech at the Diaspora Summit today. DP Chair Lulzim Basha also gave a speech today from Leisure, announcing that the opposition action is aimed at holding early elections in order to return Parliament to the citizens. 3 candidates from the SMI and 6 from the DP have disobeyed orders from their leaders and are set to join the Parliament. Good evening, it's 6 o'clock on Friday the 1st of March 2019. Welcome to the English edition of Aura News. My name is Alexandra and I'm here to bring you the day's top stories from across the country translated into English. Prime Minister Edi Rama issued a call for dialogue with the opposition leader Lulzim Basha during a speech given at the second Diaspora Summit, which commenced today in Tirana. The head of the government posed the same question to Basha that he addressed to the protesting students some months ago. When will we talk? Meanwhile, Rama said that the majority will not withdraw from the project allowing emigrants to vote, expressing readiness to approve it even without the opposition's consensus. Democratic Party Chair Lulzim Basha declined the invitation to attend the Diaspora Summit today, saying that the head of the government is using Albanians outside the homeland to contribute to his facade. Speaking at the second annual Diaspora Summit, which commenced today in Tirana, President of Kosovo, Hashim Thaçi, declared that there will be no agreement between Kosovo and Serbia that involves land swapping. He clarified that whilst he has proposed border correction, this would be realised in a way that does not infringe on Kosovar territory. We have heard a lot about land swapping, but it will never happen. The division of Kosovo will happen over my dead body. No one can infringe Trepča, Mitrovica or any part of Kosovo's territory. Those who talk of Kosovo's division are Milosevic's friends. Correction of borders, yes, but without infringing on the territory of Kosovo. There is no one in the world who denies my engagement in the realisation of the legitimate aspirations of Presevo, Medvedja or Vucanovic for joining the territory of Kosovo without affecting the territory of Kosovo, explained Thaçi. Thaçi also spoke of his opposition to the creation of a Balkan Union, adding that he vehemently opposed the organisation of any international conference in which Russia would also participate. Today, there are different ideas, but what I want to say is this: we will not allow, under any circumstances, the organisation of any international conference in which Russia is also a participant. Kosovo will only be engaged in processes led by the EU or the United States, said Thaçi. The Kosovo president concluded, under no circumstances nor at any price will we allow the creation of a Balkan Union to circulate as an idea. Although I am all for the discussion of ideas, this particular one should be discontinued. The idea of any Balkan Union is a backward step for our nation. The idea of a Balkan Union is a violation to our nation. In the second stop of what the Democratic Party has labelled the Hope Tour, DP Chair Lulzim Basha spoke from Leisure today. The tour is seeing him hold meetings with his membership base ahead of the protest to be held on March 5. After discussions in the local presidency, the DP Chair has made it clear that the opposition action for the removal of Edi Rama will combine citizen protests under the slogan, "The Democratic Party for a European Albania." The next action will be the combination of civic protests under the slogan of Our New Vision. A new program for Albania, a leisure of hope, where the future belongs to the Albanian people and not to the gangs of crime, said Basha. The meeting was held behind closed doors today, but it has been learned that Basha gave his full appreciation to the Mayor of Leisure, Fran Frokaj, adding that he supports Frokaj in running for a second mandate. Asked if the opposition would participate in local elections, Basha replied, "We have time to talk about everything." In contradiction to the orders given by their party leader, 3 candidates from the SMI have chosen not to resign from their newly assigned parliamentary mandates. Enver Broshi of Elbasan region, Uli Shehu of Tirana and Aurora Mara of Dibur have all submitted their self-declaration forms to the Central Election Commission, initiating the procedures for them to become members of Parliament, and more are expected to be added to the list. Meanwhile, 11 candidates from the SMI have submitted their resignations to the CEC, while 38 members of the Democratic Party have officially submitted their refusals to become part of the Parliament. However, the DP has had 6 members rebel against their leader's orders by refusing to sign the DP's document. Prosecutors and judges have expressed their dissatisfaction regarding the appellate chamber overturning decisions made by the Independent Qualification Commission. Samir Visha says that justice employees are getting significantly demotivated, especially following the dismissal of prosecutor and member of the High Council of Prosecution, Antonetta Sevdari. Visha, who is a member of the Reform Monitoring Commission, said that the reform is having a positive effect and that many of the decisions being made are fair. However, he noted that there have been some people of high integrity removed from the justice system also. According to Visha, the vacancy in the High Council of the Prosecution will now be taken by the prosecutor who received the most votes after those elected at the meeting of judges. Yesterday, the appellate chamber dismissed Antonetta Sevdari, a well-known prosecutor who has investigated several important issues. The state hasn't started positively this year in regards to finances, collecting less revenue during January 2019 than the previous year. In a report published by the Finance Ministry, it was indicated that 34.5 billion lek was generated in the first months of this year, whereas 35.3 billion lek was collected 1 year ago. It was determined that the 1 billion lek reduction is the result of not collecting VAT, excise tax and national tax. According to the data from the Ministry of Finance, VAT was collected to the value of 10.9 billion lek during January 2019, compared to 11.1 billion lek in January of 2018. Excise tax has also offered a lower contribution to the state budget at a value of 2.9 billion, equating to a 400 million lek reduction. In addition, dividends and social security revenues have also decreased. There were some growth sectors, however, such as the contributions derived from income tax. A number of tax amendments were made at the end of last year, which have been attributed to the reduction of revenue for the state budget. Seems Albanians are stubborn when it comes to seeking medical advice and only go to visit the doctor when they are forced to. This has been the rhetoric supported by the Consumer Health Index report of 2018, measured by the Swedish Institute, which puts Albania in the last place among 35 European countries in terms of seeking healthcare. The report estimates that Albanians avoid routine checkups, although they are valuable for the purpose of detecting health concerns and addressing them early on. Chief of Infective Services at Tirana Hospital, Najada Tsomo, added that the people most likely to avoid visits are the youth. Most concerning is that Albania has the highest infant mortality rate in Europe, with 12 deaths per 1,000 births. On March 2nd, the city of Leja will celebrate the 575th anniversary of one of the most significant historical events in Albanian history, Skanderberg's Assembly of Leja. However, the celebrations will be without the planned statue of our national hero, Gjergj Kastrioti Skanderberg. Just 1 day after the statue had been fully erected and 1 day prior to its planned inauguration, the National Territorial Defence Inspectorate, NTDI, has swooped in to intervene at the site. It has been learned that the permit issued by the Institute of Monuments of Culture included provisions only for the construction of the statue and not for the basement that was created at the site. As such, they destroyed what they determined to be an illegal construction. The Mayor of Leja was more than displeased, stating that this was a politically forced action and one that showed signs of anti-nationalism. The municipality of Leja confirmed their determination for their city to be host to a statue of the national hero, Skanderberg. And that's the news across the country today. Thank you for watching our English edition this evening, and be sure to join me again every Monday to Saturday at 6 p.m. for the latest news from Albania. Once again, on behalf of Aura News, thank you and good night.